Everybody, hospitality friend Glenn here. Listen, we already know Actabl gives you the power to profit, but now they're giving you more actionable insights to drive that profitability. Do me a favor, take a moment and check out hoteldata.com. You're getting set for budget season, right? And this new benchmarking data is going to help compare your hotel's performance for the rest of 2025 and into 2026. Please check out hoteldata.com or the classic actabl.com. Have a great day and enjoy the show. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of No Vacancy. I am your host, Glenn Haussman, still here today with the incredible doctor, producer, Suzanne sitting in, champion, PhD from FIU. How are you doing today?
I'm thrilled to be with you today, Glenn. I hope you enjoyed the rest of your holiday, and I'm excited for the month of July. Woo!
Yeah. So as you guys are watching this, it's probably mid-July already. I was chilling out in my backyard during the holiday weekend, which was really great. We actually had nice weather for once, which was just really, really special. But Suzanne, you're dealing with college kids all the time. And one of the things that I wanted to do most when I was in college and fantasized about it was backpacking through Europe and staying at hostels and really enjoying that. But 21-year-old Glenn could not get his act together. He could not pull his funds from working at the Gap to make it work. So I was not able to do that. So I love that people are doing it. I love the story of hostels and what they offer for kids. Did you ever get to stay in one of?
Actually, I did not. I really thought we were, doing a college dorm experience today, but I am really excited to learn and hear about what's happening in other locations and really how people can really travel and experience the world, because so many experiences are what people are looking for now.
Yeah, well, let's bring in. We've got the awesome Mr. Oliver Winter, founder and CEO of A&O Hostels, one of the fastest growing companies that are out there. This guy's all about growth, and I think really tapping into, forgive me for stealing from your LinkedIn profile, the zeitgeist of the younger traveler out there. Oliver, welcome. How are you today?
Hi, I'm great. Thank you very much for having me here, for inviting me. Yeah, I'm doing great.
Excellent. Well, Oliver is coming to us straight today from Germany. And Oliver, before you get to the hostel situation, you grew up on the wrong side of the Berlin Wall. Is that right?
Wrong side is an interesting.
Well, it depends on your point of view politically, I suppose.
Let's say me like this in the right time, because I had the big luck that I was 15 when the wall came down. Wow. And so perfect timing to enjoy freedom, to remember very well what it means not to be free.
Right. And so what did that mean? What did that mean to you? Were you able to understand it and process it? And I know this is not that kind of show, but I find something like this just so interesting.
Yeah. No, with 15 you can remember very well, even time before. And I grew up in an environment where my world was limited to the former Eastern Europe part, and from one day to the other I was able or allowed to access the entire world, the entire globe, and that changed everything. That changed my entire perspective, and the biggest desire I had was to travel.
Yeah. Good. That was gonna be my next question. How'd you fall in love with the hospitality?
Yeah. As you can imagine, with 15 and recognizing, okay, there's still a few years at school to join the school, but then you can do whatever you want. Yeah, you are free to take any job you like. You can travel wherever you like. And so I worked very hard already during my school time and saved some money to travel around the world. Then when I think that was 18, 19, together with a friend. And we really backpacked. So I heard in the intro, you never enjoyed this hostel experience so far. It's never too late.
No, well, it's too late because I'm old and crabby, and
you're both more than invited to enjoy the experience.
It would be weird, except I don't want to be like that old guy on the dance floor at the college bar. I'd be a little worried. I'd be a little worried about that, with everybody going, "What is with this guy?" But You are in so many great places. Just name a few: Cologne, Edinburgh, Florence, Graz, Prague, Warsaw, Leipzig, Brussels. Oh my goodness. Of course, your hometown of Berlin over there. When did the company start, and what made you want to focus on hostels as an investment opposed to other hospitality categories?
So we started in 2000 the company, and that was really driven by my own hostel experience I made during my travel around the world. Yeah, so I traveled around the world stayed in New Zealand, Australia, where you on each corner you find a backpacker hostel or a youth hostel, and so I stayed in many hostels during my half year of traveling around. And back to Berlin, I started to study very boring. So I started to become a teacher. That was my intention. And but I always had in my mind that this hostel idea is a great idea. And I recognized there was nothing like this in Berlin in this time.
Really?
No, nothing. We had some like these non-commercial hostels, like from the church or from like YHA, yeah. So the non-commercial stuff, but no private, independent, private-owned hostels with fun and looking to what the clients, what the customers' needs are, and so I started to work on it, and then I looked for an investor, because I realized, okay, this is has something to do even with real estate, with big houses. You have to run big assets, that you need some liquidity, some money to run this. And then, yeah, by random and luck, I found an investor who was keen to help me with the very first one. And then we started here in Berlin with the very first one, 164 beds. That was the very beginning. Today we operate around 30,000. Yeah, that was 2000.
Wow. Suzanne?
That's a lot of beds to get started on your first one. What were some of the learning experiences that you had to jump through with some learning hoops and hurdles?
To be quite frank, Suzanne, we had to learn everything. Yeah, because as I said, I didn't have really a hospitality background. So that was learning on the job all the time. And even when I'm looking back 25 years ago, it was not the time of internet. Yeah, there was no web. All the bookings we received via fax. I don't know if all your listeners know what a fax is. And people traveled with Let's Go Europe or Lonely Planet, with big books under their arm. We had 50% of our customers in this time being walk-ins, so people didn't pre-booked. They just
Lonely Planet, I think, was relatively new-ish back then too, and really like shook up the destination handbook category kind of thing. Am I right about that?
Right.
Oliver? All right, cool.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Yeah.
Yeah, because they really invented the way that people could really discover locations through the book, and made it a lot bit easier, and kind of helped, I think, transform the industry. So that's good timing for you to be coming in when people are suddenly paying attention to categories like you in this way.
Yeah, that's true. And so I think timing was one of the biggest lucky points in our history, and the company history. Because then everything changed and boosted us. So that was 2000 was the same time when it started with these low-cost carriers, like we have here, this Ryanair or EasyJet, comparable with JetBlue. I think it's
correct, or a Spirit Airlines, but without the suffering.
Yeah, exactly. And then this became that the customers became, so to say, free and to do their own bookings with Web 1.0, Web 2.0. Yeah, that it started with a big growth of the OTAs, like in this time, Hostel World, Expedia, Booking.com.
Just to give people a quick history lesson, after 9/11 here in the United States, a couple of things happened. Travel dropped, and the internet started to take off. The hospitality companies didn't know what to do, so all of these new companies, Expedia, et cetera, started to get created in Europe, like Booking.com, and they were able to successfully come in first and really transform how everyone booked hotels for decades. And we're still feeling that ripple effect today. So you leverage that opportunity at the right time and got to move away from faxes.
Exactly. And one of our learning was really you have to be ahead of all this digitalization. Yeah. So to be digital, that's life for us. Yeah.
Yeah.
And make bookings, make all the access as easy as possible for the clients, for our guests.
Yeah, and that's transformative, Suzanne.
I was going to say, first of all, I kind of liked the days when I had to show up in the morning and take my stack of facts and make my reservations in the hotel.
Yeah.
No, I do not miss that at all. But I would love to know, now that the internet is available and essentially individuals can leverage booking online, what is your ratio of walk-ins versus online bookings? Are you still seeing walk-ins, or is that a thing of the past entirely?
Yeah, it's more the last thing. Yeah, so it's more of the past. So maybe 2-3% of the people are really walk-ins.
Mm-hmm.
Most people are booking via OTAs or brand.com, via our website. And what we can see is that people really book shorter and shorter in advance. Yeah. So
right.
today 50% of our bookings we receive in the last 48 hours.
Woo.
Yeah.
Woo. That's hard to plan.
Yeah, Oliver, that's really stressful for you and your team.
Yeah, if we are used to it.
Yeah.
That's true. So you've now you have faith, right? Because you know that within 48 hours they're going to start to come in and not to get anxious.
Yeah, and to be frank, so 50% or 40% of
our Frankfurt, since you're coming from Germany. Sorry.
Yeah.
Just bad joke.
So 50% of our bookings are pre-booked very long in advance. That's all the group booking. So for us, it's a group. It's everything more than 6 person, and so group booking is mainly school groups, student groups, sport clubs, etc. They book a long time in advance. So this we have on the books already, and then I speak about all the individual travelers, but that's shorter and shorter. Yeah.
So what are these people looking for when they're staying in your hotel? Because they're obviously, when you say cheap accommodations is kind of like the first thing out of the gate. They're looking for low prices, but it's really, cheap is a word to get people to click in, but you're really more about creating value for these young customers, is my guess. So how do you do that? What is that experience like?
Yeah, that's true. I think there are many factors, but first of all, it's location, despite from price. Yeah, so it's location, it's safety, cleanness, and a nice thing, a premium, so to say, is even in these days is sustainability as well. Yeah. So if you have the choice and you have the choice between two similar products, and the one is maybe a bit more climate conscious or more sustainable, and about it, and the price is comparable, etc., then you probably trending more to book the more sustainable. But key is price, location, and has to be safe, has to be clean.
Yeah, I've got a quick little stat here. Your company's CO2 footprint is 3.73 kilograms per night, which is 80% lower than industry competitors, and 75.13% less than your emissions in 2015. So that's obvious. This is an ongoing goal for you and your company. And not only is it doing a good thing, but I think people in Generation Z in particular think this is much more important than old Gen X guys like me.
Absolutely. So for the Gen Z or millennials, it's king, so to say, this topic. So for them, it's very crucial, and we see that it's the biggest challenge with this topic is more that people are not willing to pay a high premium for the sustainability stuff, but they expect from a company to behave responsible and
Right. And Oliver, I've been preaching for years, the real win-win is when you're able to do the right thing and save money by doing the right thing.
This is what we love. Yeah. Anyway,
and that's kind of what I know your philosophy is going to be. Right.
Yeah, exactly. And that's you're pointing it out very well, because our DNA is to save and skip costs wherever we can.
Right.
Yeah. Because everything we don't spend, we don't have to charge the customer. Yeah. And so in the end, it's our daily aim, so to say, to offer the best affordable price in the market. And then we learn very, very quick that even with our cost-saving DNA, we are also saving a lot of resources anyway already. Yeah, and then we started to dive in deeper into this topic and saving even more and spending more, or giving more efforts to climate consciousness. And many of these tasks or actions we did in the last 2, 3, 4 years is even helping us to save costs, or even not higher costs, and you behave better for the environment.
Yeah. And that's really what it's all about, is creating that win-win scenario that makes customers happy, that helps lower those expenses, because we all know it's getting more expensive to operate hotels. But for you to really, I think, continue to get great expenses lowered, you got to have a little bit more scale. You guys are all about growth. You acquired 6 assets in the last 18 months. Your goal is opening 3 new hostels per year during the next 10 years. And you've got yourself a little bit of a kitty, something like 500 million euro investment that's going on as well. So kudos to you for having a good growth plan. Why is now the right time for you to be embarking on this expansion journey?
So we are growing since 25 years. Yeah. So it's not only now, but now is even a more perfect time. But so
it feels like a little doubling down to me.
Yeah.
For you. Yeah.
But for us, I say it like with a smile, but crisis, we love crisis around us, because crises are times we have 2 benefits. One, people downgrading and are more conscious or more keen to save money and save their budget. So that means we have more demand. Yeah, people are more keen to even look for a hostel product. Maybe even older people never been in touch before with a hostel product and saying, why not trying out? So we widen the customer range. And on the other hand, we see so many distressed assets around us. Yeah, for right now affordable prices. What brings us in a position now to really to go around and make great lease contracts for the next 20 years, or acquire buildings. What we even can do, as you mentioned, our shareholders gave us a lot of firepower to buy new assets or used assets. Yeah, not new ones. But and for this, is since 1, 2, 3 years, we have this distressed office market, for example, this office crisis around the globe. And that's also something what we really love to buy outdated office buildings from the 80s, 90s, refurbish these buildings and renew it to a big A&O hostel.
So that my question to you is, considering how office buildings are built, then I'm gonna assume, and feel free to hit me in the head if I'm wrong, you probably have bathrooms on the floor as opposed into each individual room, or you may have a mix where some do and some don't.
That's really the old days, the very old days, where you have these bathrooms and on the end of the floor.
I'm just thinking office buildings, they only have that central corner.
We take the full effort. Today, so all our rooms have private bathrooms.
Amazing,
great
inside. When I think we have only really 1 asset from 42 assets left where we have some common bathrooms. So all the other rooms have private bathroom facilities.
So how the heck do you get an office building and convert it and operate it at the price point you're working at and make money? Because it's like there's a lot of work to turn in to change a building to go that way, right?
That's true. That's true, and we invest a lot of money. But we have to shop it very very cheap. Yeah, so we have to buy in the down dip, so to say, of a market.
Distressed asset strategy. Right. Right. Makes a lot of sense. Suzanne?
And I think the advance of remote work in a lot of those office buildings not being utilized really is a great opportunity for you, where it might not be for others, but that's how you dip into it. What is your length of stay that you have for your travelers that are coming to stay with you, in relation to, my vision is people are on the road and they're traveling, but how many nights are they staying in a location to experience what you've got to offer in the area?
Yeah, that depends a little bit on the destination, of course. But so on average, the individual travelers stay around 2 nights. The group business is much longer. So the group business stays from Monday to Friday usually. That means 4 nights.
Yep.
But so 2 nights for an individual traveler.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's, I don't envy your sales team. It's a lot of filling up to do. So it can bring us back to that stress with the 48 hours. So good to them. What is one thing that surprises you about consumer behavior in 2025?
What stressed me, that's
What's
a good
surprising?
one.
Yeah, just something different that you've learned this year about customers.
So yeah, what we're seeing, but that's nothing what stressed me. But what we really see as a big trend is really this trend to solo travelers.
Yeah,
and
great.
it's growing this year. So see much more solo travelers and especially even much more female solo travelers than in previous years.
That makes sense because when you have that heightened aspect of safety, people are going to.
Yeah. And this is something even we try to support or to answer with. We started a few years ago to introduce a product, what we call female dorm, what is only allowed to be booked by a female.
Love it.
And to give a safe space.
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic idea, Oliver. To be young again. I wish I could go and do that. But Oliver, I really think that the single traveler is probably also playing into that digital nomad philosophy as well. Do you have any anecdotal evidence that shows that either way?
Yeah, what the evidence we have every day if you cross our lobby, we have different zonings. We have even for kids, we have a play zone, we have a bar area, of course, we have and one of our most used areas in 24 hours over the entire day and night is a big working table. We have in every house is huge working tables with power plugs there, etc. And that's always occupied. Yeah, you see day and night, you see people sitting there and doing their remote works.
Yeah. So I think that that's interesting. We got to keep up with this trend here, Suzanne. Suzanne, got anything else to ask our incredible guest, Oliver? Over here?
I am thrilled to see that you're expanding and taking something that generated from your interest as a young individual to make it happen as your passion project and career choice. It's fantastic to see how that transforms our industry. So continued good wishes and success as you continue to expand.
Thanks, Oliver. Really appreciate you being here. And I want all of you guys to check out aohostels.com, aohostels.com. And hey, Suzanne, I got a great idea. While they're checking stuff out, they should download all our podcasts wherever they get their shows, and also follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, all of those kind of places. Thanks so much for being here, everybody. See you next time right back here. And remember, you've got one life, so blaze on and
follow your passion.
See you later, everybody.